Stop this video right now if you're addicted to distraction, because what I'm about to tell you will make you uncomfortable. Your phone isn't stealing your time. Your notifications aren't the enemy. Your lack of focus is the real weakness, and weak men are easy to control. In a world designed to fracture your attention, the man who can concentrate becomes dangerous, and that is exactly why they don't want you to learn this. Be honest. How many times today did you reach for your phone without thinking? Comment, focus, if you're ready to take control of your attention, instead of letting the world steal it. Chapter 1. The Crisis of Attention. Why focus is the new POW. You feel it every day. The mental fog, the constant urge to check something, the inability to stay locked on a single task without your mind drifting away. This is not laziness. This is conditioning. Modern life has trained you to be reactive instead of deliberate, to chase stimulation instead of mastery, to confuse movement with progress. And Machiavelli, centuries before smartphones, understood this flaw in human nature better than anyone. He knew that men who cannot control their attention cannot control their fate. Focus is not a productivity trick. It is political power over yourself. Look around. Everyone is busy. Everyone is grinding. Yet very few are actually dangerous, because distraction keeps men harmless. Distracted men argue online. Focused men build empires quietly. The world you live in profits from fractured attention. Every notification, every headline, every endless scroll is designed to pull you out of the present moment and into reaction mode. Reaction makes you predictable. Predictable men are easy to manipulate. Machiavelli warned rulers about this exact weakness. He wrote that men are more inclined to appearance than reality. Today, appearance is content, reality is work, and most men choose appearance. You don't need more motivation, you need fewer inputs. But here's the problem no one talks about. The moment you try to focus, discomfort appears. Silence feels heavy. Stillness feels wrong. Your mind rebels. That's because distraction has become your emotional escape. Focus exposes everything you've been avoiding. And that's why most men never build it. They call it monk mode. They romanticize it. They post about it. But very few understand what it actually means. Monk mode isn't isolation. It isn't deleting apps for clout. It isn't disappearing for validation. Monk mode is the strategic removal of unnecessary stimuli, so your mind can become a weapon again. Machiavelli believed that power begins internally. If you cannot command your own thoughts, you will always serve someone else's agenda. This is why kings feared thinkers more than armies. A focused mind sees patterns others miss. A focused man moves before the crowd realizes what's happening. Yet today, focus is treated like a personality trait instead of a discipline. People say, "I just can't focus." That's like saying, "I just can't lift weight." Focus is trained through resistance. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your distractions are protecting you from responsibility. When you're distracted, you don't have to confront your potential. You don't have to face the gap between where you are and where you should be. Distraction numbs ambition. Focus forces action. Machiavelli understood this psychologically. He knew men would rather be entertained than powerful, because power demands sacrifice, and sacrifice demands silence. Think about the last time you were truly focused. No music, no notifications, no background noise, just you and the task. It felt intense, didn't it? Almost threatening. That's because focus compresses time. 1 hour of deep focus does more than 10 hours of scattered effort, and the world does not want you compressing time. It wants you exhausted, overstimulated, and dependent. This is why focus has become rare, and rarity creates dominance. Here's where most people get it wrong. They try to add discipline on top of chaos. They wake up motivated, then drown in noise by noon. They blame willpower instead of environment. Machiavelli never relied on willpower. He relied on structure. He believed that the environment shapes behavior more reliably than intention. If your environment is chaotic, your mind will be chaotic. If your environment is quiet, your mind becomes sharp. Let me say this clearly. If you cannot sit in silence for 30 minutes without reaching for stimulation, you are not in control of your mind. That sentence should bother you. Good. Because control is the theme of this entire video. The distracted man lives in reaction. He responds to messages instantly. He argues emotionally. He chases urgency. He confuses activity with importance. And in doing so, he gives away his leverage. Machiavelli warned that men who reveal themselves too easily lose authority. Today, distraction forces constant self-exposure. Every thought tweeted, every emotion posted, every impulse acted upon. Focus does the opposite. Focus makes you unreadable. When you stop reacting, people start watching. When you slow down, others adjust their pace to yours. When you don't rush, urgency loses its power over you. This is why powerful men throughout history cultivated solitude. Not because they hated people, but because they understood that clarity requires distance. Monk mode is not about escaping the world. It's about returning to it with dominance. But before strategy, before routines, before techniques, you must understand the enemy. The enemy is not distraction itself. The enemy is uncontrolled access to your attention. Every open loop drains you. Every unfinished task whispers in your mind. Every notification fractures your thinking. Over time, this creates mental weakness disguised as busyness. Chapter 2. The Strategy. Machiavelli's Monk Mode. Rules for absolute focus. Now pause for a second, because this is where most men fail. They hear about focus. They agree with the philosophy. They feel inspired for a day, and then nothing changes. Why? Because focus is not built through motivation. It is built through rules. Machiavelli never trusted emotion. He trusted systems. He understood that men do not rise because they want to, but because they are forced by structure. Monk mode is not a vibe. It is a regime, and regimes operate on laws. I'm going to give you the core strategic rules of Machiavelli's monk mode. These are not suggestions. These are constraints designed to make distraction impossible. You cannot focus if your mind is constantly digesting garbage. Information is food, and most men are mentally obese. News, social media, messages, opinions, endless content. None of it makes you stronger. It keeps you reactive. Machiavelli believed that rulers controlled information flow, not because knowledge is bad, but because unfiltered input destroys clarity. In monk mode, you don't add habits first. You remove access. No news before noon. No social apps during work blocks. No endless messaging. Here's the psychological truth. Every time you consume, you weaken your ability to create. Focus requires emptiness first. Most men plan goals. Powerful men plan time. Machiavelli would laugh at vague ambition. He understood that power operates on schedules, not intentions. Monk mode runs on time blocks. 1 deep work block per day minimum. 0 interruptions. 1 objective only. No multitasking. No just checking. No flexibility. Why? Because flexibility invites weakness. Studies show that context switching can reduce performance by up to 40%. That means every time you break focus, you are voluntarily becoming less effective. Focused men don't work longer. They work undisturbed. Most men fill silence because they fear it. Machiavelli taught that silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty creates power. When you don't speak, people project. When you don't explain, you remain unreadable. Monk mode includes deliberate silence. No background noise during focus. No constant talking. No explaining your plans. Silence sharpens perception. You notice patterns. You hear subtleties. You think ahead. This is why monks, strategists, and generals valued quiet. Noise dulls intuition. Here's the part most men ignore. If you cannot be alone with your thoughts are not under your control. Sit with that. Monk mode forces solitude, not as punishment, but as training. Scattered goals destroy focus. Machiavelli warned against divided priorities. A ruler fighting on multiple fronts loses territory. The same applies to your mind. Monk mode operates in seasons. One primary goal. Everything else becomes secondary. No side quests. You don't balance, focus. You concentrate it. This is how men build momentum. One direction. Relentless pressure. Motivation is emotional. Routine is mechanical. Machiavelli trusted mechanisms because emotions fluctuate. Monk mode strips emotion out of execution. Same wake-up time, same work window, same shutdown ritual. No decisions, no debates. Every decision you eliminate saves mental energy. Every repeated action becomes automatic. Over time, focus stops feeling forced and starts feeling natural. This is how discipline becomes identity. Machiavelli warned rulers not to reveal their intentions too early. Visibility attracts interference. Monk mode is private by design. You don't announce your plan. You don't post progress. You don't seek validation. Why? Because attention is currency, and you can only spend it once. When you broadcast, you leak energy. When you stay invisible, energy compounds. This is why real power often appears suddenly. The work happened in silence. Focus is not built in the morning. It is protected the night before. Late nights destroy discipline. Stimulation before sleep destroys clarity. Machiavelli understood preparation mattered more than execution. Monk mode evenings are boring on purpose. No endless scrolling. No emotional conversations, no mental clutter. Boredom resets the nervous system. Calm creates sharp mornings, and sharp mornings build dangerous men. Here's what's happening right now. If you're listening closely, you're realizing that monk mode isn't extreme. Your current lifestyle is constant stimulation, constant access, constant distraction. That's not normal. That's exploitation. Machiavelli would call this a battlefield, and monk mode is how you survive it. In the final chapter, I'll show you how to implement monk mode immediately, what to do today, this week, and this month, so focus becomes your default state, not a struggle. Because once your attention is disciplined, your results stop being accidental. Chapter 3. Implementation. How to enter monk mode and reclaim unbreakable focus. Now, we finish this because knowledge without execution is weakness in disguise. Machiavelli never respected men who understood strategy but failed to act decisively. Power belongs to those who move first and move consistently. This chapter is not theory. This is implementation. If you follow what I'm about to give you, your focus will not improve. It will transform. Monk mode begins with a withdrawal from unnecessary noise, not forever, but completely, for a defined period. You choose a time frame, 7 days, 14 days, 30 days. During this period, no social media scrolling, no pointless messaging, no news consumption, no entertainment during work hours. You are not becoming antisocial, you are becoming selective. Machiavelli believed that withdrawal creates leverage. When you are less available, your time gains value. When your attention is guarded, your mind stabilizes. This is the first shock to the system. Expect resistance, expect boredom, expect discomfort. That means it's working. Every powerful identity is built on ritual, not motivation, not mood. Ritual. Your monk mode day follows a simple structure. Morning. Wake up at the same time, no phone for the first hour, physical movement or stillness, one clear objective written down, no stimulation, no input. You begin the day leading your mind. not reacting to it. Midday, one deep work block, 90 to 120 minutes. One task only, silence or neutral background. This is where progress compounds. Evening, shutdown ritual review. What moved the needle? Prepare tomorrow's objective. Cut stimulation early. This structure turns focus into a loop, not a battle. Here's a Machiavellian truth most men ignore. Willpower is unreliable. Machiavelli didn't trust human impulse. He constrained it. You do the same. You pre-decide what time you work, what you work on, when you rest, when you stop consuming no daily. Negotiation. If you're debating, you've already lost focus. Monk mode succeeds because it eliminates friction. The fewer decisions you make, the more energy you have to execute. This is critical. Most men track outcomes. Powerful men track obedience to process. You don't ask, did I win today? You ask, did I follow the rules today? Did you protect your focus block? Avoid unnecessary input. Execute despite resistance. Results lag behind discipline, always. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Power grows invisibly before it becomes undeniable. Trust the process. Around week 2, something happens. Your mind slows down. Your thoughts become sharper. Your reactions weaken. You stop craving stimulation. You start craving progress. This is the identity shift. You are no longer fighting distraction. You are intolerant of it. This is when monk mode becomes dangerous, because now, focus isn't effort, it's preference. Monk mode is not escape, it is preparation. When you reintroduce social life, communication, or entertainment, you do it intentionally. You choose when to engage. What deserves attention, who gets access. Machiavelli taught that power lies in control of access. The same applies to your life. You are not available by default anymore. You are deliberate. Let's return to the beginning. You live in a distracted world not by accident but by design. Every notification wants your attention. Every platform wants your time. Every voice wants influence. Machiavelli would tell you this plainly. If you do not control your focus, someone else will. Monk mode is how you reclaim sovereignty over your mind, not by force, but by discipline. If this hit you, comment monk mode below. If you're ready to withdraw, rebuild, and return unrecognizable, subscribe. Because the men who master focus don't chase success, they become unavoidable, and once your attention is unbreakable, nothing controls you again.